Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. My name is Tim. I publish Villages related content. For those new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tim. The Villages is a 55 plus community located in Central Florida. It is one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing community in America. Here I am walking in a foreign country, and I wanted to bring you some Villages news. And I did read this article on the villages-news.com. And the title of the article is Homeowner Testifies He Bought Out of Compliance Home from the Villages. And the article goes like this. A homeowner testified he bought an out of compliance home from the Villages. The home is in the village of Antrim Dells, was subject of a public hearing Thursday afternoon before Community Development District Number 10 Board of Supervisors. A complaint was received on September 30th about landscaping at the home that was in the road right of way. So somebody had purchased a home that had landscaping that was out of compliance, and a neighbor complained about it. During testimony before the board during the public hearing, this individual who bought the home said he purchased the home in February of 2024 through the properties of the Villages. They paid $840,000 for the home. He said they received no hint or no idea from the sales representative that the property was out of compliance, and said he used the sales department of the Villages specifically because he wanted to avoid any problems. The homeowner said he inherited this issue. An application for the landscaping work was never filed with the Architectural Review Committee. He also claimed that his area of the Villages was hit by a troll last year, with more than 50 complaints filed with the Community Standards Department. This individual said he and his wife have accepted the fact that their home is in violation of the deed compliance rules. He said he hired a landscaper who will bring the home into compliance. The board agreed to provide the homeowner with adequate time to complete the work. So I wanted to bring you this video because deed compliance is a big issue in the Villages. And deed compliance, like I said on many other videos, is a complaint-driven system. Nobody will do anything about deed compliance issues until a complaint is filed. And that seems to be problematic because when buyers buy pre-owned homes, they don't know if that home is in compliance or not. And as far as I know, there's really no service or no organization that will go through and determine if that home is in compliance or not. And this article even illustrates that not even when the home is sold by the Villages themselves will they know if that home is in violation of deed compliance. And somewhere along the line, in my opinion, somebody, whether it's the real estate agents or if they can hire an independent organization, They need to go through those homes before you purchase them and identify if there's any issues with violating the deed restrictions. And the article mentions a troll. A troll is an individual. Usually it's a neighbor. And it seems like every neighborhood has at least one of these people. They have nothing better to do than go around in their golf carts or their cars and look at homes and report deed restriction violations. I even have one in my neighborhood. That seems to be a problem, and I know that I participated in board meetings in the past, and I've heard that there are individuals who will report 10 or 20 or 30, or in this case, 50 violations in a day. They drive around and report violations. And some of the community development districts have implemented a policy where you need to file a complaint and leave your name and address of who you are, who filed the complaint. They did that in District 5, and the number of complaints were cut in half. Once the complainants were asked to leave their name, they stopped filing complaints. It is an ongoing issue in the villages, this deed compliance and how to enforce them. And I also think that some of the ownership on that relies with the villages themselves. And some of the ownership should rely on the real estate agents. Somebody needs to warrant if those homes are in compliance or not before you buy them. So the moral of the story is let the buyer beware. It's up to the buyer to do their own research and investigation when they buy a home, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And I have heard stories of people buying homes in the villages where they had the wrong roof shingle on. And after they bought the home, they had to replace the roof shingles to be in compliant with the correct coloring scheme. Let me know in the comments below what the best way to enforce these deed compliance issues are. Because in my opinion, they are out of control. They're hard to control. Some people suggested that the villages would have its own unique department that would be in charge of enforcing deed compliance, and they should do away with the complaint-driven system. The villages responded saying it would cost too much money to staff such a department. People's maintenance assessment fees would go up, and nobody wants that. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I do appreciate it. So my word of advice is know your deed compliance, read the rules before you buy a home, and try to do the best you can do by inspecting that home before you purchase it. Other than that, I don't know what kind of advice to give you. And it seems like most of the deed compliance restrictions revolve around landscaping and driveways. Somebody will will widen their driveway, and they will not get architectural review committee approval. somebody will file a complaint. And I've already heard stories that people had to take the cement back out of the driveway. The other issues I hear a lot about are landscaping issues. People are planting trees and bushes too close to the roads, and they have to remove it. The other issues I hear about are color of roof shingles and the color of the homes. Some people will either paint a home or put new roof shingles on with the wrong colors. So if you're purchasing a home, a pre-owned home, concentrate, read the rules about those areas: roof shingle color, paint color, landscaping, additions to the driveway, additions to the lanai. That's another popular thing. People will add on to the lanai and they will not get Architectural Review Committee approval. So the moral of the story is you need Architectural Review Committee approval to make really any change to that home, on the outside of that home. And if you don't have that approval, you can go back later on and seek their approval, and in many cases they will grant it. But in some cases they will not, and you will have to make that home or put that home back to its original state, and that can cost money. So there you have it, friends. That is my Village's news update and my advice. Let the buyer beware. Do your own research. Know your deed compliance rules, because there is going to be a troll neighbor that knows these rules like the back of their hand, and they're going to drive around in their golf cart and they're going to look for violations and report you anonymously. You'll never know who did it. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.